morning, YouTube. How are you guys doing this morning, my family? So wonderful to be with you guys today. I missed making a video on Monday. My whole family has been suffering with allergies. They have been horrible this year, and I even missed work on Monday. But I'm much better, and really and truly, it's just allergies. But I still have a little swelling in my face, and my eyes are puffy. But Grammie's feeling much better, and I'm so glad to be doing this Encouragement Wednesday. Today, we are going to talk about the woman in Proverbs, the mother, the wife, the cherished one. And this world, for some reason, has really made it seem horrible to be a loving wife and a loving mother. She is cherished. Yes, she works hard, and so does the father. We all have our jobs in the house, and none of them is demeaning. If a man washes dishes, it does not demean him, and if a woman mows the grass, it does not demean her. We all have our jobs, and we all help each other, and that's how God set up the family. You have your leader, and you have your helpmate. But the leader does not rule in a dictatorship. He rules and that's what the Word of God says. We were talking about this in Sunday school at church on Sunday morning. And I'm in a Sunday school class where the people are much older than me. I'm not going to say much. There's some that are close to my age, but most of the people are in their 70s in there. And there's great wisdom in people who are older than you. I have wisdom to give to someone in their 20s and 30s. But somebody who's been on this planet for this long and been married this long for many, many years, some of these people have celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary, 50-something wedding anniversary. So they have great wisdom when it comes to things. And he said, it says in the Bible, and it does, it says that husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And I've said this before. I don't like to repeat myself, but sometimes things are good and you just got to say them again. But it doesn't say that for the woman. It gives her a different set of rules to love her family. Now, Jesus laid his life down for the church. So the husband has to give his life for the wife. That's not a dictatorship. That's not how a man rules over his house. Jesus gave everything to his people, everything to the church. So a husband has to give his all. And that's his love, his heart, his support, everything that she needs, he's to give it. And that's the same for her. So let's get into Proverbs. I don't want to ramble. I want us to talk about moms this morning. It's the most wonderful thing that I've ever been called in my life besides Grandma, besides Grammie. For many years, I didn't think that I would be called mom. I was married before. And I've told my testimony, but I'm going to go into it just a little bit this morning again. And I was married the first time for 13 years. And we tried everything to have children and was not able to have children. And was told by a doctor that adoption was made for people like me, that I would never have a baby. And I did not accept that. I knew that God had a promise for me, that I had been prophesied over. I knew that there was a child, and I knew that I would be a mom. I just had faith in my heart to know it. Well, that marriage ended, and I thought, I'll never marry again. I'll never have a child. And my faith was wavered then. But God sent me Harold, and he is my soulmate, the Proverbs woman. So I think that it is wonderful to be called mom. The first time my little girl said mom, and it took her forever. She said daddy, she said bubba, she said sissy. It took her forever to say mama. And I was leaving her little room one morning to go get her bottle made, and she was still in her crib. She was playing, and she stood up and hollered, mama. And I began to cry, and I picked her up because I was in my mid-30s, and I never thought that I would be a mother. Now, when I married Harold, I became a stepmom instantly. But they didn't call me mom. They were already 9 and 12, and they have a mother. I became their parent and their friend. And I love them, and they are just like my own children. I would do anything for them. But they never called me the title mom. And so whenever this little one called me mama, it was like the most beautiful thing that I had ever heard, and it was wonderful. And so being a mother is something special. Some people never give birth to a child, but they have a mother's heart. And they nurture and help children outside of the home and do many wonderful things for children. So one of the most wonderful things that ever happened to me on Mother's Day is I went to church and it was Mother's Day, and I was probably in my late 20s and I didn't have a child, but I had to tough it out. I was going to church, and my pastor's wife called me up to the front, and she had a special gift for me. And she said, "This lady has not given birth to a child, but she has the heart of a mother." And she said she nurtures children in the church. She nurtures children outside of the church. And God has called her to be a mother. And one day she will be. And she gave me a gift, and it was a wonderful thing. So, I don't want to ramble. Let's read the Proverbs woman, okay? A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her beds. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but she surpasses them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. That's why I say, I want my family to sing the praises at the gates, at the city gates. A lot of times I might make a joke about it. But isn't that a beautiful thing? This world has made it seem beneath us to be a mother and a wife. It's a treasure. It's a reward. Now, does that make you a maid? Does it make you a servant? Does it make you beneath somebody? No. Because the husband is supposed to love you as Christ loved the church and give everything. But isn't that a beautiful way to tell you how to be pleasing, how to be loving? It doesn't say the husband sits around. It says that he praises her. He loves her. She's the center of that household. The mother is the heart of the household. If the father is the brain, the mother is the household. Not saying the mother doesn't have a brain, because sometimes two brains are better than one, and we all know that. And sometimes we come up with better solutions than they do, and sometimes they come up with better solutions than us. It's about teamwork. It's wonderful to be a mother. I can't tell you what it's like to be a father because I'm a mother. But I love being a mother. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't really understand how much my mother loved me until I had a child. And then I understood that the love that a child has for a mother is nothing compared to the love that a mother has for her children. And then, as mine grow older, we've already had 2 graduate and are out in the world. One's in their late 20s, one's in their middle 20s, and they're both parents. And It's sad because there was a time whenever we drove down the road and the car was full of kids and full of music and full of laughter and joy. And now we're down to just one, and she will be 14 this year. And so our days are clicking away to the time when she leaves us to go to college or move on and marry and have her own family. And I think that that's one of the hardest things of motherhood. As I sit and I think about being a mother, I think the loving, the rocking, the feeding them, the changing the diapers, making the meals, giving the baths, taking them to school, going to school function, those are all wonderful things. But the hardest thing is preparing them to leave. From the minute they learn to walk, they're walking out the door. And me and my husband, we have talked many conversations over the last year when she turned 13, because we know how fast it goes. We've already had 2. And our life is but a vapor. And you only have them for just a smidgen of life, and then they're gone. And there's something about the joy of having a child in the home. Even now in the hard times, whenever we're going through the teen years. And some days we have to get in trouble because maybe we said something that was a little bit smart alecky. And I pray for patience every day so that I can be a good mother and not push her away. But also be stern enough that she knows that those things aren't tolerated. It's always that fine balance. But that's the way of life. They're learning to be away from us. Just like the little mama bird whose little babies hatched, and within a few weeks they were ready to leave the nest. So will mine be one day. And it has been a wonderful and a great joy to be a mother to this girl. And I'll be a mother to her till the day that God calls me home. I'm a mother to them 2 oldest ones too, if they need one. If they need me and they need whatever they need, I'm there for them. But that's the hardest job of a mother, is to let those little baby birds go. I love you guys. Let's go out and be proud to be the Proverbs woman. The woman that's praised by her husband, and their children call her blessed, and they sang her praises at the gates. Maybe today you're feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes I do. I feel like there's just too much responsibility put on me, and it's not fair. Why am I the only one having to do laundry? Why do I have to fix the towel every time I go in the bathroom? But this morning, let's do things without complaining. If we need help, let's ask for help. Sometimes we try to take too much responsibility on ourselves. Let's be the Proverbs woman this morning. Let's do things without complaining. And if we need help, let's put people to work. That's what we do. It says in here that we give commands. So you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. I hope you've enjoyed this Encouragement Wednesday. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed Mother's Day. And I will be back with a video. I'll probably put a video up either Friday evening or Saturday morning. Sweet, but I love you guys, and y'all be blessed. In Jesus, just to take Him